Hello, everybody, and welcome back to That Pretentious Book Club for our very special holiday episode.
Yay! Merry
Yay!
Christmas and other holidays to
And
you all.
whatever Christmas, winter holiday you celebrate.
Yeah.
Whatever your Christmas
Whatever
is.
you like.
Pick your
Pick
poison.
your poison. Ah! Excellent.
Oh.
That over there is Dr. Spoons Palermo, aka Kendall Shaw.
Hello, hi, howdy. Over there is Ash O'Rourke, but you can call her Wheezy.
It ain't easy being Wheezy. And finally over there, because you guys know we can always count on her to show up for our holiday episodes, is our holiday fox, aka Lexi Potter.
Yeah.
Hello. I don't have a sign-on thing.
I know you need one.
Yeah, you
What
should
does the
get
fox
one.
say?
No.
No.
You can't
I
like
think we should bring it back
in a public way without people saying that every time. So now I'm like, but honestly, that song, it's true. They say a lot of weird stuff and no one talks about it.
I did see a TikTok that was like this girl like going to feed her like rescued foxes, and I was like, what the hell kind of noises is that?
Yeah.
It
It's
is
scary.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I followed this fox girl on Instagram for like ever, and her fox makes the weirdest noises.
It's a juniper fox.
Yes, Juniper.
I love her.
I know Juniper.
Oh my god, we all know Juniper. I love that.
Oh my goodness.
It was so
Juniper
cute.
Fox.
Not Juniper, but a different fox lady. I followed her on Facebook a long time ago. And when my dog died in April and I was talking about it, she was like, oh my gosh, was it distemper? And I was like, oh, you're talking to me? Hi.
Oh my goodness.
Hello. It was so exciting. I was like,
Aw.
I'm not really jazzed about much right now. So I'm so happy that you said stuff to me.
Something,
Thank you.
yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
sweet.
really sweet.
That
was,
is
like-
really sweet.
Like being really encouraging, which was really sweet.
Oh, I love
That
that.
is
I didn't even
really
realize we
sweet.
were mutual friends. I thought I just followed her and she commented on it. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my god, you're
Aw.
so close to fame.
That
That
So
was
yeah.
that was lovely of her.
Yeah, it was.
I might just get a fox now. I think I'd have to move to Florida though, and I
Oh.
don't want to do that.
What
I
can't you
would-
own in Florida?
Yeah, right. After watching like a lot of Juniper Fox videos, I mean, I love her and I'm glad that she's in a nice home, but like I would never get a fox. That
No.
sounds so stressful.
It's like pee everywhere and eating all
No.
your stuff, and you'd have to be at home all the time. You can't like
Sounds
get a
like-
fox sitter.
no,
It sounds like
it's a
puppy.
fox.
It's like puppy stage forever, but more.
Yes.
That feels
That's
like.
what it seems like.
Yeah,
And I would
that's a
always be
lot.
afraid. I'm kind of afraid now because she has dogs, and I'm like, how are those dogs okay? Because that's a wild animal.
It's a
Anyway,
wild animal.
this
Yeah.
isn't a
I guess
fox
she's
podcast,
kind of
but-
small, so yeah.
You should have a
Sorry.
fox
It could be a
podcast.
fox podcast.
You could just
You
talk
should have
about
a fox
foxes all the time.
podcast, and you just invite people on the show and interview them, like people who are just enthusiastic about foxes.
The first question
Yeah.
is, do you like foxes? And if they say no, they can't. That podcast
They're-
episode's over.
You're like that
They're
was the
out.
whole episode. Yeah.
Can I come on? My whole episode, I want it to be about Fox Robin Hood. Disney
Perfect.
Robin Hood.
Perfect.
Hell
I love
yes.
him. One of the
Wait,
first
there is a
crushes.
whole
Oh my god, he's
podcast
so
here.
hot, right?
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
he is. He
It's
is
weird to
hot.
say for sure, but yeah.
But like, it's the truth. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie to you guys. Like,
No.
No, there's
it's
no
true.
reason to lie. I love Kovu.
Yes.
I
Oh,
love the
yeah.
Max.
He was
Goof,
hot.
So
Max
any-
Goof, yes.
Yeah. James
Mhm.
or Jason. No, yes, Jason Marsden. His voice. Anybody like he also plays Binks in Hocus Pocus. So anybody he voices, I'm like, okay, you're real cute. So
I was obsessed with the Goofy movie, and I still am a little bit.
So
Ash
is Hobby.
hates it.
I hate the
do.
first one
Well, I
because it
hate
makes me really
Goofy.
sad.
I hate
Okay,
Goofy.
that's a different reason for me. That makes me really sad.
I've only ever seen the first one. I've never seen the second one.
So the first one, it's kind of like I still regret being an asshole as a teenager.
Oh, it's
So when
that,
I
yeah.
watch Max being mean to his dad, I'm like, stop, you'll regret it.
It is
Just
painful.
enjoy the time with your dad.
Oh no,
That's so
it's
sad.
it's so stupid. And
That's
then
so sweet.
and then the second one is better because Goofy gets to have his own life. He's not sad the whole
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
first one, there's a lot of depth to that film.
It was too much for me as a kid. I was like, this is too sad.
This is sad. I don't
I
like
can't
this.
do it.
That's
but-
funny.
Anyway,
I mean, I love foxes so much. I got a corgi, so that's
he is
back to the fox thing. But I'm just staring at him now. So
Aw.
he's so cute. Anyway,
he's so
well,
cute.
As our guest, Foxy, how's your week been?
Yeah.
Good. It's been really busy. We got back from Spokane on Saturday, and then
yes,
we've been
Spokane.
busy every single day. Yeah, my husband's in-laws or my in-laws live in Spokane.
Huh.
So we visited for Thanksgiving, picked up puppy, and then came back home, and we've had
Did you go
plans every
last
single
year
night.
too?
We go every year, but we go alternating holidays. So last year was Christmas, this year Thanksgiving.
Gotcha. Okay, because I was
Yes.
just re-listening to our Christmas episode from last year, and you said something about it
Cute.
being your first white Christmas, and I was like, that had to have been the same place. I think it
Yes.
was.
It was
Yeah.
a white Thanksgiving too. It was very snowy.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is cool.
That's magical.
Oh,
Yes,
fun.
Fable, my dog loved the snow. I think he's pretty confused that we don't
Aw.
have it now. He's only ever known snow. So when we came here, he was like,
What
the
is
heck?
this?
He's like, what the
Why
Whereas
is it
hell?
all of my
hot?
animals would be like, what the hell is going on?
As soon as we
Snowed.
came, like we drove. So as soon as we drove into Arizona, he started panting. And I was like, oh
Same.
no, is he gonna be okay?
Can he handle
so
it?
funny.
Ruh-roh.
What are we all drinking?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what are you drinking,
Lexi?
Lexi?
So it's really just pomegranate juice that I watered down because it was a giant
Amazing.
jug. But
I
yeah.
love pomegranate
Excellent.
juice.
Well, it looks pretty
Thank
and
you.
delightful and festive.
It
Spoons, what are
does.
you
Thank you so much.
drinking?
I am drinking strawberry margarita out of a Carnival sippy cup that we
Hell
got
yeah.
from
I have a matching one. Yes, from
Wow.
the Strawberry Festival.
Strawberry Festival.
Where she got very sunburned and I got very weird tan lines on my boobs.
It has
So
a little
cute.
cowboy guy on it. So
Hey,
I
buddy.
saved it.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so
That
cute.
Fun.
Yeah.
I'm
so
having
it's-
hot chocolate with peppermint schnapps. So,
Wow, look at
Wow.
you.
I feel like that. Well, I don't know. Yours is the most Christmassy,
that's what I
but
was
they're all
going for.
festive.
They are all
Yeah.
festive.
I
I
love
think
it.
it's good.
They're all like in the spirit of fun, you know?
Yeah.
They
Yes.
are. Yeah. Spoons is very like summertime fun, but I can accept it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
there was no
You super
planning.
earned it. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, what else, Foxy?
Okay, so we've been introducing everybody to Puppy. We've been we always have student ministry. That was fun. I brought him to student ministry on Wednesday. He was dropped only twice. So
Nothing.
Oh,
That's
fine.
nothing.
No, nothing.
I'm sure my parents
Um,
dropped me way more than that.
I literally, after the girl dropped him like pretty hard, I was like, you know what? I'm probably gonna drop my actual human child, so I don't, it's fine. And every child was like, what? No, don't say that. You're scaring me. And every adult was like, yeah, no, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Just being honest, you know?
You
Yeah.
hold that thing so often, you're gonna drop it
At
least
some
once.
point, statistically speaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
It only makes sense. It's science.
Oh, that's fun.
And then tonight we are having dinner with his other family who's visiting right now. And that's gonna be really fun. We haven't seen him in a while, so that'll be fun. What else?
Great.
We're just constantly busy. I am going to 2 plays this week. And yeah, I just feel like December really kicked off with busy every single day,
Yeah, I get
which is
that.
good. How about you guys? Really busy already?
Spoons. Spoons has exciting news.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
I'm so excited.
I finished I'm basically done with school now forever.
Yay! Oh my gosh.
I have like 2 things to turn in next week and then I'm done. So today I had my presentation for like my final kind of thesis report thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
What was it about?
I digitized this collection of postcards. And it was like a semester long project thing. So I had a
That's so
little
cool.
presentation and it went okay, except for, of course, I messed up like the Zoom. It was like on Zoom and I messed it up.
Ugh.
And so everyone it was like a weird thing, but so I was like, this would happen to me, but it's whatever.
So annoying.
And then what else? Yeah, so I'm basically just like done with stuff. Ash gave me this so cute graduation present, which is a embosser thingy. So it says we embossed like 5 of my books with it already, and it says like from the library of Kendall Shaw, and
That's
it has
so cute.
a little book, and there's like bees and stuff, and it is the sweetest gift ever. I love it. Haley and I already embossed like 10 of my other books, so
That's the
Hell
cutest thing I've
yeah.
ever heard. That's
it was
amazing.
so
I
sweet.
think it's fantastic. I'm so glad you like it.
So yeah, that was great. And then Well, me and Ash did something fun yesterday, but I don't know if you want to tell it, Ash. If
Sure.
you want to say it. Okay,
I
go
can do
ahead.
that. So Spoon's texted me on like, what was it, Tuesday? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
It was not like not with a ton of warning because she didn't know about it either. But Kira Cass, the author of the Selection series, The Siren, The Betrothed, and all of the other stuff, she's coming out with a new book called 1,000 Heartbeats, or it just came out. And it's very exciting. And spoiler, we are covering it this season, and I'm very excited about it. And she was like, "So Kira Cass is at Book People." Which is like this big independent bookstore in Austin. And we were like, okay. And she was like, we should go. And I was like, yes, we should, but I don't have a car. So you would have to drive an hour out of your way to pick me up. So I understand if you don't want to do that. And she was like, no, let's do it. And I was like, dude, really? And this was the first time I've ever gotten to go to an author signing. So that was fun. And we gave her a sticker. We gave her a That Pretentious Book Club sticker. And we were like, we talk about you a lot. And she was like, I love stickers. And I was like, you're so good.
She was so sweet. Like, she was
sweet.
so kind, so sweet. And she signed, I had like 3 other books that so now I have every single one of her books that she's ever published signed because I'm insane, I guess. Yeah. And so she signed all those for me. And then she signed a special book. Can I say it?
Yeah, you can
We're
say
gonna
it.
do it for a giveaway, everyone. So.
For 1,000 follower giveaway. You guys have been wonderful. That will be included in the giveaway. So
1,000 followers. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's super fun. And she was so sweet to us. And
she was so sweet and wonderful. And I like kind of like teased her a little bit because I realized my sense of humor is like making fun of people and hoping they'll like snap back. And I was like, oh my God, she's so sweet. God, I hope that wasn't like rude. But she laughed and she was super funny. And Kendall was like, she was like, yeah, these are the only 3 books of yours that I don't have signed. And she was like, I just love what you did with this. I know it was really controversial what you did in one of these books, but I just loved it. And she was, I mean, Kira Cass, because we also got to like listen to her talk for like 45 minutes or something first. She's just so sweet and pure. Like as sweet and pure as she seems online, like she truly is. Like she's really such a sweet, wonderful soul. And so it was just so delightful.
And she got, my phone case has Mystery Science Theater reference on it. And she got it for anybody who knows what that is. And it was so sweet of her. And also just shout out our pod astrologist, Catherine, for reminding me that she was coming into town because I almost forgot.
And I wouldn't have gone if not. Yes. So thanks, Catherine.
I love that she knew, even though she doesn't live in Texas.
Well, she lives in San Antonio, so
maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Yeah,
never
mind.
Thinking
of
our I heard you say never mind. Yes,
we have like 3 of them.
No, it's very confusing.
Okay,
pod astrologist Catherine.
This is our other Catherine, and she lives in San Antonio, so she wasn't even going to go, but she was like, just so you guys know.
That's so sweet.
So that was very kind of her. Yeah.
And then we walked away and immediately Kendall was like, oh my God, did I come on too strong? Do you think I freaked her out? And I was like, no. And you've also met her like 6 times or something.
I have met her multiple times and it seems like I'm a freak, but I promise I'm not.
That's so cute.
I like her.
You're so funny because you came off like totally sweet and normal too. And you were like, I'm just feeling like maybe I came on way too strong. And I'm like, I know the depth of passion that you have for her and her books. And I know how much you were suppressing that. And don't worry, you did an excellent job.
Well, my favorite thing about it was seeing all of the like girlies who were like teenagers who this is for them. You know, we are definitely 25 and like,
but it was super funny.
They were so cute. Like, they like there was one girl in like a tiara because all of Kira's books are like about princesses, and then another girl in like a little like pretty dress, and like all of the girlies were asking all the questions. It was so cute. I was like, I love this for you guys.
That's so wholesome.
It was so sweet. Wholesome is such a good way to say it. And I was telling my mom this too because somebody I think asked some question to the effect of like, would you write something edgier? And she was like, no, because I feel like there's like this the gap between middle grade and YA fiction has become so wide, like that she kind of likes that her books kind of bridge the gap. She's like spicy books are fine, but it's not my thing. It's not my thing either. So I was like, yay. She said, I live a PG-13 life on purpose. And I was like, oh my God, back to my hashtag prudes on purpose, which is my comical hashtag. But I was just so pleased with it. I was like, I'm not alone.
Very kind. Yeah. It was a great time. And we also bought in total about a pound of cookies.
Oh yes. We went to a cookie bar.
And we ate all the cookies.
Delicious. What a good day.
Whole Foods. We walked into Whole Foods and needing to grab a snack before the Q&A with Kira Cass. And we walked in and we got about like maybe 2 feet in the door. And we were like, is that a bunch of cookies? And we were like, it is. And it was like $12.99 a pound of cookies. And I was like, and you can pick any other cookies you want. And I was like, so we could just each do that. And Kendall was so good. She's only bought like half a pound of cookies. I bought 0.79 pounds of cookies. And then we literally just took our little bag, sat directly outside of the Whole Foods.
And ate them. Yeah.
And ate them. Yeah. It was a great time. Yeah.
I'm going to post that
day.
picture of you, Ash, for the listeners.
Okay. For the listeners. I think we should post all of our pictors from,
we took some
from that.
pics,
It was fun.
That's
and
so
I never
fun.
go places. So that was like my first time like going out in public, especially at night. I definitely don't go places at night.
Was
And to
it
the
scary?
point where I was like, yeah, like every time somebody would like walk behind me, everything in my body said that person's about to stab you. Like I was just like on the highest of alerts.
You might need to leave the house a bit more just for your own sanity.
I don't want to.
Just like once a month, go to like a coffee shop or something.
Well, and see, the thing is, it was more like it was the first time in a really long time I'd been in the city, because I do go to Elgin and Bastrop. Oh, no, I've totally triangulated myself. I'll take it out. I do go to the 2 nearest towns. One's pretty small, one's a decent size, like one's like a totally decent sized town. But it's not the same as like going into like a city, and Austin is a city. So yeah. Anyway, so I do go out and about. I just
was
don't go
very
to the
funny.
city.
The like little crosswalk thing like said like now crossing 6th Street, and Ash went,
That was
like she was like what is that noise?
Who's talking?
Who is that? Who's
so
there?
funny.
Stop that. I was like irritated. I was like, don't tell me when to cross the street. Like I don't go places at night typically either. Also, it gets dark really early now. So I've just not been in a city and not been out like at night in an urban area in a very, very long time.
Well, you were with me, baby. I would have protected you.
I know you would have. And I was literally like, walk with confidence, Ash, because you could kick anyone's ass. So like, I wasn't really concerned for my own safety. I was just like, everyone is potentially an enemy.
I might have to kick everyone here.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
kick all your asses. I don't care.
Yeah. Don't even look at me the wrong way or tell me how to cross the street.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, so that was super fun. So
I'm glad that you met someone you really like and it wasn't the worst, and that you've done it multiple times and that they are not the worst.
Yeah, she's great. So I was glad that Ash finally got an author experience, because every single time I'm like, yeah, so I met this author. Ash is like, I've never met an author. But she got one. Yeah.
Yay.
You're really like reading into my tone on that one though. You're like, I've never met an author. What it really is, I've never met an author.
No, I know. I'm being
I don't care
dramatic.
all that much, but it was funny. I did appreciate how much you cared about getting me an author experience. It was sweet. And it was super, super cool to like listen to her Q&A and like to get to like talk to her a little bit and give her a sticker.
That's
And
how I met you. Not the sticker part, but I met you at an author reading.
That's
you
right.
were the
It's called
author.
networking. No, yeah, no. And I talked about that too on our Christmas episode last year.
Did we really? That's so funny.
Yeah, we
I'm glad
did.
you listened to it, so it's not like a complete repeat.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I actually was really wise that I listened to it on accident. I'm so accidentally wise, but I am kind of afraid I'm gonna like be like, hey, remember when you said that thing? Because to me, I'll think that you just said it this episode, but you said it like a whole year ago.
I never remember anything. So if you say remember when you said this thing, I'll be like,
Nope.
no, I don't.
No, but I believe you.
Not
I
at
believe
all.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, it was really cute. After the last episode, your sister Maddie messaged me and was like, I listened to your episode on Frankenstein, and I felt like I was just talking to you guys,
Aw.
and I was like, you have to be on one, or we have to see you or something. It was really
Yeah.
sweet.
Aw, that's
Speaking of,
sweet.
Maddie's
Love her.
literally FaceTiming me right now. Hang on, I'm gonna see if I
Really?
can answer and get her voice on the
Whoa.
mic.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's Grayson, my niece. Hi, Sugar
Hi,
Bee.
Grayson.
I'm recording. Look.
Hello, baby.
You're wearing your kitty
hi.
shirt. Maddie, look who it is.
Hi.
It's Lexi and Spoons.
I was literally just talking about you.
Yeah, she was. She says, hi, I love you. Then there's
I love you
Grayson.
too. Hi, Grayson. You're so
Hi,
sweet.
baby.
Hi,
Oh my
Gravy. She's so cute.
Oh,
It's so funny.
What's on your shirt?
That's her kitty cat shirt. I got her.
it's so cute.
Meow. She goes, isn't that precious?
Oh
That's
my
so funny.
gosh.
Lexi was literally just talking about you when you called. That's why I was going to answer.
What'd you say?
Oh, well,
What'd you say?
next time that Lexi's on the pod, I need to be on the pod too. We need to have like
Yes.
a whole GCU family reunion.
That's what I just
Aw.
said. And then you called, and that's amazing.
She says that's because I have my headphones on, she can't hear you. She said that's exactly what she just said, and then you called, so it's funny. That's gravy. This will be so
cute.
fun. I think that's a good idea.
Texas and just have a girls' weekend with
I
us.
think that's an amazing
That'd be so
idea. Could
fun.
we do that?
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. And you can meet Winchester.
Yeah.
And and the baby. But also you
I'm
can
gonna
meet
meet
my
the
dog.
All the babies of all kinds of.
What we have going on now.
Can I tell the
Also.
whole pod?
Yeah, you can tell the whole pod. We'll announce it eventually.
She pregnant. She pregnant.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. That is so exciting.
I'm still very early though, and I've had 2 miscarriages.
Yes. So it's
Yeah.
That's
So they're
always
debating whether or
something.
not to tell people.
That's fair.
But
It's our baby, regardless of whether we can make it Earthside or not.
yeah.
So
Well, I'm excited for you. I have only positive vibes for you.
thank
I'm
you.
realizing she can't hear
Thank
me,
you.
but I'm really excited for her.
Lexi's very excited for you. I also forgot that they can't hear. Where's your child? Oh, she's in the blinds.
Where's your
She's
child?
hiding.
She's laughing at herself. All right, Maddie. Well, we have to record the rest of this episode.
Love you,
but
Maddie.
They say they love you.
Bye.
Bye. That was fun.
That was so cute. What
That
the
was
heck?
a new segment.
I
we've never
summoned
done
her.
before. You did. You totally summoned her. By the way, listeners, that's our graphic designer. I often go, "Oh, our graphic designer, my sister." That's her.
That's her.
That's her.
She's amazing.
She's so cute. She's adorable. And that means I'm gonna be Auntie times 2, and I'm very excited. It'll be
gosh.
TT because that's what Grayson calls me. And I was telling Spoons that Grayson has a habit of whispering people's names, which is very creepy. She, because my mom, she calls my mom Poppy, like for the flower Poppy, and she goes Poppy, and then TT, she's like TT,
That's
and
really
like
cute.
always like with like a weird look in her eye about it, where I'm like, are we cool? Like, are we okay?
Are you gonna murder me?
Please stop, Grayson.
She has 2 volumes where she screams like she did just now on the phone just to speak. She's like, hello, and like screams it, or just like whispering. And I just think there's no reason for a child to ever whisper. at
It must be
18 months
fun
old.
when you're a little kid to learn how to do something like that when people are like so reactive to it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, you really react to what I just did there. I guess I'll do it forever.
Maybe I'll do it more. Yeah. I think I'm
So
going to
cute.
whisper even harder.
When you said she pregnant, were you doing the new girl thing?
Yes.
She pregnant? Yeah.
100%. I love that you'll always get my new girl references because I
Always.
reference it constantly. It's just like a
Love it.
part of my daily life.
Oh yeah, I love new
It
girl.
makes me
It's so good.
happy.
She pregnant.
She pregnant. It's such
You
a
pregnant.
Random. That's such a random episode and random reference, but
I know,
every
that's
line in that
good.
show is up here in my brain.
Yeah. Anyways, is there anything else we want to share with the listeners before we get into this week's book and author bio?
Not for
Apparently,
me.
it's Joseph Bell's birthday, who is the person that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle based Sherlock Holmes on.
Really?
So, yes, my
Interesting.
little computer or laptop thingy just told me that.
Happy
So that's-
birthday.
Yeah, so
Happy
you know,
birthday, Joe.
mysteries all around right now.
Joe.
I love that.
Cute.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, why didn't we read Sherlock Holmes?
Darn it.
This was a good one though.
Shoot.
So this, as mentioned, this is one of our Christmas episodes. Our next Christmas episode will be our 2nd annual Story Siren Studio Christmas party, which our
So
sister
fun.
podcast, the Scripturient Society. So that will be great
Yay.
fun. So this is our only Christmas read because the other one is just like a lot of like bookish nonsense. So this time we are doing a book via Lexi's own suggestion from our Halloween episode. We're reading Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot's Christmas, and I am
That
going to
was
do
really
a lot of
good.
versions of that name. I thought that'd be the most acceptable one. I'll be doing it with a really bad accent probably from here on out. So Hercule Poirot.
Poirot.
I talked to Carissa about it, and because she's learning French, and she's over from the Scripturient Society, Carissa, and also went to college with us. I feel like, again, we cover this every time that you're here because I always bring her up, but because she's been learning French and her family is Cajun French.
Cajun, yeah.
So yeah, exactly. So she's like, I think the emphasis is on the first part of Poirot. So it's Poirot, not Poirot. It's Poirot. So anyways, I was like, that's because I've been doing that wrong forever.
Hercule is hard to say in any language.
Yeah.
Hercule.
Hercule
Hercule
Poirot.
Hercule Poirot. And
Hercule.
I thought that I'm dumb and I was just under the impression I thought he was French. Hercule is actually Belgian.
But, well, they speak France. They speak France there.
They speak France in Belgium.
Oh, they speak France there in Belgium.
Speak France there in Belgium.
Yeah,
they have the waffles.
They're very similar, but different cultures, but very, very similar.
I didn't realize that either. Wow. Okay.
I don't think it makes all that much of a difference to the interpretation, to be honest. But he's pretty cool. So he's a pretty cool character. So anyways, you're doing Hercule Poirot's Christmas, and thanks, Carissa. I'm just gonna constantly be like, did I say it right?
Say it wrong on purpose.
Hercule Poirot is what I'm going with.
Hercule Poirot. I love that.
Yeah. Anyway, so I do have a really in-depth author bio because I'm just always trying to impress Foxy when she comes on the pod. So are you guys ready for that? For this bio?
Let's hear it.
Okay, all this information came from one place. This all came from agathachristie.com.
All right.
Yeah, although I literally just realized I was supposed to look up the zodiac and I didn't. Hang on.
Oh, I'm sure that's easy though.
I was gonna do that. It is so easy. Okay. So Agatha Christie, aka like her actual name, Agatha Mary Clarissa Miller, was born September 15th, 1890 in Devon, southwest England, into a Torquay in Devon, southwest England, into a comfortably well-off middle-class family. Yes, that's mostly a direct quote, but what do we think that makes her zodiac sign?
Virgo.
You are correct.
What did you say? I missed it.
September 15th, 1890.
This isn't fair. It's just I'm obsessed with Virgos. I have Nick Jonas was born September 16th.
Oh my gosh.
My husband's
Keanu
a Virgo.
Reeves. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It makes I think I've said this before too, but none of the zodiacs seem legit until I read a Virgo and I'm like, that's my husband.
So funny.
So
Virgos all around. So Agatha was largely homeschooled by her American father, which is interesting. Her father was American. Her mother, Clara, was an excellent storyteller, but actually she weirdly didn't want her daughter to learn how to read until she was 8 years old. But Agatha, being homeschooled and bored at home, learned to read by the age of 5. She did have 2 older siblings, but they were much older, so they weren't super close. And so some of the books that she got into reading as a kid were written by Edith Nesbit and Louisa May Alcott. She also got into, Louisa. She also got into reading poetry and American thrillers, which I'm just a little bit, okay, I see why you got into what you got into. She also had imaginary friends and she wrote poetry herself, which is just really sweet and pure. I just like throwing in I think it said something like intense American thrillers or something, or surprising. And I was like, wow, impressive kid. So when she was 5 years old, her and her family spent some time in France because they decided to rent out their home in Ashfield to economize, which didn't they do in, was that Sense and Sensibility?
Sense and Sensibility, yes.
Mm-hmm. They did that. Yeah. So anyway, so that's what they did here. And they spent time in France. I love how they're like, to save money, we must travel to France. I'm like, wow.
Don't understand.
Seriously.
Yeah. And this is where her governess Marie taught her quote, idiomatic but erratically spelled French. So natural sounding French, but she never learned how to spell
Nice.
it.
Doesn't really matter. None of the letters.
Yeah, if you can speak it. Yeah.
Anyways, so at the age of 11, her father passed away after a series of heart attacks, and from then on, it was pretty much just her and her mom, and they became very, very close. When she was 15 years old, Agatha started taking piano and singing lessons and was so good she actually could have been a professional pianist, but she had horrible shyness in front of people she didn't know, and so she was like, I'm not going to do it. So,
wow, Agatha, woman of many talents.
I was really? Yeah, and there's other things too. God, she's just amazing. At the age of 18, she started writing short stories. Some of those short stories were published in a revised form in 1930, so some of those you can find. And she wrote and published with the advice of family friend and author Eden Philpotts, who I don't know, but I just in case anyone
that
does.
Name.
Yeah. In 1910, Clara and Agatha set off for Cairo, and a 3-month season, that's a quote, at a palace hotel, super nice, where she
Wow.
attended parties, wore evening dresses, and she showed a lot more interest in like the social life in Cairo than like the archaeological sites, which is actually something she became interested in later on. So the friends and couple she met there that she befriended in Cairo, they all kind of just stayed friends and kept partying when they came back to England.
Wow.
This quote is just
What a
quote,
life.
various marriage proposals followed, and there was no more detail.
Agatha.
My
I know.
goodness.
Get it,
Here's
girl.
so her two husbands are both like, wow, she went for it, and I can admire it. So in 1912, she met Archie Christie, a qualified aviator who had applied to join the Royal Flying Corps. Their courtship was a whirlwind affair. That's the quote. Anyways, neither of them had any money, but they still wanted to get married. And they did get married on Christmas Eve in 1914. At which point they had both experienced war already, Archie in France and Agatha on the home front. She was at the time working voluntarily for the Red Cross Hospital. And then on December 27th, Archie returned to France. So that was they were not together very long before he had to leave again because he was serving in the war. So then they only got to see each other pretty infrequently while the war was going. And it wasn't until 1918 when Archie was posted to the War Office in London that Agatha said that she felt like she was actually married, which I only included because I was like, wow, that's familiar, because my husband and I, he was on orders at the Army when we were, our entire engagement, we got married, and then he went back on orders like the next week. So I totally get the feeling. So during World War I, that was when she first started writing detective novels, and mainly because her older sister Madge bet her that she couldn't write a good detective novel. Like, I'll show you.
Madge, you had something
Amazing.
else coming.
I know. Little did she know. Her debut novel was The Mysterious Affair at Styles, which I don't know anything about. At the time, she was working at a hospital dispensary, which I think is kind of like a pharmacy. She said that she found, quote unquote, found her characters on a tram in Torquay. So like the characters, I believe, for the Hercule Poirot series. So thanks to her experience in what was essentially a hospital pharmacy, the poisoning that she described happening in that book was so accurate that she received a review in a pharmaceutical journal.
Oh my
which
gosh.
I'm like, well, that's kind of amazing.
That's amazing.
In 1919, at the end of the war, Archie found a job in the city, and they finally moved into an apartment together, and they had a daughter, their only daughter, named Rosalind, or Rosalind, I never know. And a publisher named John Lane from the Bodley Head received her manuscript of The Mysterious Affair at Styles and signed her for publication and contracted her to produce 5 more books, although she did later switch to what's now HarperCollins. So that's cool. It had a different name then. It was similar, but not quite. Anyway, so during the First World War, there were a lot of Belgian refugees in parts of the English countryside, including Torquay. And so, though there wasn't like a specific person that she based Hercule on, it's thought that that's where the inspiration came from, because there were a lot of Belgian refugees in the area. Let's see. So they settled into a house eventually. They named it Styles in the suburbs outside of London. But this was a bit of a difficult time for Agatha. Her mother passed away and they were really close, so that was really hard. And she was often left alone to clear out her family's home in Torquay, because that's where she grew up. And she was trying to write her next novel for her publisher and having a hard time. And then, great, it gets more sad, because Archie and Agatha's relationship broke down because Archie fell in love with a fellow golfer and friend of the family, Nancy Neal.
Rough.
Yeah. That's just, and friend of the family just almost makes it worse.
That's worse.
So that's rough.
Because now y'all can't even hang out. You know?
Exactly. So that was pretty sad. And then this gets crazy. Okay, I do not know
I was hoping you would talk about this part. I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is crazy. I don't know. I didn't know this. You guys probably already knew something about this. I did not. One night, and I'm probably just this is mostly probably a direct quote from agathachristie.com, because I don't think I can say it better. One night in early December, overwhelmed and with close friend and secretary Carlo away for the night, Agatha left Rosalind and the house to the care of the maids and didn't say where she was going. Her car was found abandoned the next morning, several miles away from the house, and the whole country started searching for her. Nobody knew what happened or where she went. It eventually transpired that Agatha had somehow traveled to King's Cross Station, taken a train to Harrogate, and checked into the Harrogate Spa Hotel under a different name, the name Teresa Neal, saying that she was previously from South Africa. And yeah, anyway, so the hotel staff recognized her, told the police, and then when Archie came to meet her, she didn't recognize him. They think that possibly she had a concussion, but was definitely suffering from amnesia, regardless of the cause, and she had no idea who she was. So
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, she would see pictures of herself in the newspaper and then say, "Oh, she looks like me," and people would be like, "Yeah,
it is you.
That is
Isn't
you."
that crazy?
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh
like,
my
what
God.
happened? That's
So-
a real life mystery. She's already writing mysteries at this point too.
I
I'm
think-
like, what the hell? Yeah, what's your theory?
Yeah,
I
tell
think
us.
she's so good at writing mysteries that she decided, well, my husband is cheating on me. I'm going to allow it to get out, but I'm going to do it on my terms. And I'm going to go do this whole thing. And I don't know, I think, because I don't think the affair would have gotten out if she hadn't have done this whole weird thing where she leaves and is like, "Oh, who, me? No, I'm not that person," because he had to tell everyone like, "Oh yeah, I'm not living with her. I'm cheating on her," basically.
Interesting.
'Cause I think there was like a
So
letter
you
or
think that
something.
she didn't actually have amnesia?
I don't want to call her a liar, but I
I mean, I
wouldn't
would
put
have
it
only
past
respect
her.
for her if
It's
that
a
was the
theory,
case.
yeah.
Yeah. I think
That
that
is
she was smart
wild.
enough to make this whole elaborate scheme to be like, well, if you're in love with someone else, that's fine, but I'm not going to take it sitting down. I'm
Yeah.
going to do a weird thing.
And
I'm gonna
she
do it.
did. It was a
I'm going to
weird
make my
thing.
own mystery. And then until my death, everyone's still like, oh, yeah, she had amnesia. She's fine. Don't worry about it.
Wow, that's wild.
I think
That is
that'd be
wild.
I
And
think
part
that's
of the
cool.
reason that we don't know anything about what actually happened was because she never talked about it again, like with friends or family or anyone. So she never told anybody. So it's weird. They continued living apart after this, Agatha and Archie, understandable. She was living with Rosalind and her secretary Carlo in London, and I think all the maids and stuff too. I don't think that was like a relationship. There was no indication of it, if so. And following a course of psychiatric treatment in Harley Street. So that's where she was in London following psychiatric treatment. So I don't know.
Okay.
She needed an income and she was having a really hard time writing new material. So her brother-in-law suggested that she combine some of her Poirot short stories that she had written for the Sketch magazine. And so I think this is also largely where like all of her work with Hercule Poirot as a character became like more novelized. Their divorce was made official in 1928. But from here on, things get pretty great for her. So let's get into the happier stuff. So Agatha and her daughter moved to the Canary Islands, left England, so that's nice. And then late in 1928, Agatha wrote her first Mary Westmacott novel, which was not a detective novel. It is a work of fiction about this one was about a composer forced to work for financial reasons. So Mary Westmacott was her like a pen name, I think, because later it got so she wrote under the name Mary Westmacott for a while. But then later, an American journalist basically was like, Mary Westmacott's actually Agatha Christie. And she was like, damn it. And like had to go back to it. She was like so annoyed because she was enjoying getting to like write without like the pressure of being Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so that was a bummer.
Lame.
Of course, it was an American
I
journalist.
ruined it for her.
Totally ruined it. So one of Agatha's lifelong ambitions had been to travel on the Orient Express, which, as we all know, was the setting for maybe her most famous mystery of all time.
We know that one.
And I did enjoy the movie that came out a few years ago. It was really good. See, her first journey on the Orient Express took place in the autumn of 1928. This is very cool. During this, she traveled to an archaeological site at Ur, and then she made friends there, and she was invited back the following year, where she met handsome, adorable 25-year-old archaeologist in training, Max Mallowan, who was to become her second husband.
Oh my God. A hot archaeologist named Max. That sounds great.
I know. It sounds amazing. From here on out, everything sounds like amazing. Like, would definitely write it in a book. Can't believe it was her real life. They were married in Edinburgh on September 11th, 1930. And I wrote Amazing Dream Life Began. So I literally, here's another copy and paste just to sum up. This is how great her life is. Thus began a productive and recurring annual writing and traveling routine for Agatha and Max. Summers at Ashfield with Rosalind, Christmas with her sister's family at Abney Hall, late autumn and spring on digs, and the rest of the year in London and their country house in Winterbrook on the edge of Wallingford, Oxfordshire.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Amazing
for
life.
What
her.
kind of life is this? It's so amazing.
That's some queen shit right there.
Oh, yeah.
She had
Some
it
queen
figured
shit.
out.
100%. So when World War II started, Max got a wartime job in Cairo because he was working with languages or something or other. And Agatha stayed in England and she started working at the dispensary again. After the war in 1946, that's when the American journalist was like, Mary Westmacott's not real, it's Agatha Christie. So that was disappointing for her. But then the 1940s and 50s, she didn't get to write as much of her normal stuff because she was working on with like theatrical productions, I think, to adapt her stuff. And her last public appearance was at the opening night of the 1974 film Murder on the Orient Express.
Wow.
Yeah. And here are some more direct quotes because I can't back these up, and these I don't know if these are accurate or not, but this is what agathachristie.com says is accurate. It says that Agatha Christie was the best-selling novelist of all time, which I'm like,
I think
wow.
she's just below the Bible and Shakespeare.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay,
That's
queen.
really cool. Yeah, and then so she wrote 66 detective novels and 14 short story collections, as well as the world's longest running play, The Mousetrap, which is an amazing play, by the way. Lexi,
And
did you go with me in college to see it?
Yeah, I think so. I think I
It
did.
was really, really good.
And they made a movie recently.
Yes, I was going to
That's
say
right.
that.
You
See
see
how
it?
they run.
Yes, I love that movie.
Yeah.
And they're just now, after what, 70 years, taking it to Broadway. It's been on the West End for 70 years, and now it's going to
Heck yeah.
Broadway.
That's
so
exciting.
exciting. It is an
I
amazing
really liked
play.
that movie. I thought
It was really
so
good.
cute.
I
I
loved
didn't
it.
get to see the movie, but I got to see the play because my college put it on because our college didn't. It was awesome.
It was
so
awesome.
I need to. Her books have sold over 1 billion copies in the English language and 1 billion in translation.
Wow. A
Yep.
billion?
Mhm. Overall, Agatha Christie lived a pretty happy life. She was pretty damn successful in her career, and she passed away peacefully on the 12th of January, 1976.
Wow.
Love her.
That's
Good
Agatha
for
Christie.
her. I'm so glad for her.
I
Mhm.
know.
Everything
same.
worked out.
It really did. It really, really did. Yeah. So, anyways, that's my bio. That's all I've got on Agatha Christie.
That
I
was
put it
great.
Well
together for you
done.
guys.
Amazing.
Yeah, well
Thank
done.
you.
Yeah, y'all are very, very welcome.
I didn't know anything. I really only knew that story about her going missing for a bit. And that's all I knew about her
so
life.
weird. I would
So
also
weird.
be like, well, maybe it was like fake news, like that she did, like she like crafted on purpose. But then she was in a psychiatric ward for like a
Mhm.
while. So I
Yeah.
don't know. But also,
I
I
know.
feel like being a woman, it wasn't hard to get like put into a psychiatric ward.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
I feel like
Well,
even if she did remember and she said that she didn't remember, I feel like they'd be like, maybe you need to go to the psychiatric ward.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe
I
she
don't
really
know.
just did need some therapy. Like maybe she
Yeah.
was
Probably.
freaking
It
out
might
about
not
her
be-
husband.
Her husband was a
Yes.
cheating asshole with one of their close family friends. Anybody would need therapy after that.
That is what makes me sad about how famous that name is that Christie is her married name to a man who cheated on her.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
It sucks.
But you know what? No one remembers him. They only
That's
remember
true.
her.
That's
so she
true.
owns that name.
Right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Holly asked me if he was like, if I ever die and you remarry, like, are you gonna change your name? And I was like, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna keep your last name because it's kind of badass. And he's like, but it wouldn't technically. It's not like it's technically yours. And I'm like, it is now. Yeah,
I'm
it is.
keeping it.
Like you can pry it out of my cold dead hands. Yeah.
Definitely
anyways.
keeping Potter forever. Potter is
Yeah, it's
the
really
coolest.
good. There's just some names you're like, I'm not gonna let it go.
Mm-mm.
I wanted an Irish last name and I got one. I'm not
You
letting
got
go
one.
of that. Yeah.
Amazing.
Anyways, that's all I got. We can get into the
That was great.
plot now.
Okay, so plot wise, there are lots of details I probably won't remember. So
That's
y'all,
okay.
Bananas.
y'all jump in whenever. Honestly, this can be a group effort.
Okay. Perfect.
When today did you finish this, Spoons?
I finished this 15 minutes before my presentation. So
Sounds
it
about
was
right.
it was 2:45 today.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Before your presentation, you were working on this?
I was reading it, yeah.
Bless you. Oh my gosh.
What I'm saying, her life is so much harder because she's like, yeah, school and work and pod. And I'm like, yeah, no thanks.
Mm-mm.
You have one too many
Well,
things.
in this case, I could have See, I had some time last week and I was like, "Ooh, I should read it then," but then I was worried I was going to forget stuff. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'll read it
I finished
closer.
it 2 days ago and I've already forgotten a lot.
I finished
Yeah.
it while driving. Like my husband was driving, but we drove 20 hours from Spokane to Phoenix. So
Lord.
I read it
Wow.
during that time. And I don't even have a cute book because I used my phone so I could read it in the dark.
Oh yeah, good.
Aw.
Bummer.
I don't have a cute book either. I had the audiobook. So.
I have a cute book because I'll tell my story real quick about my book. I don't collect books because I'm too stingy. The only books that I collect are the Penguin cloth bound Jane Austen classics. Mostly because I found a bunch of them at half price books one time. So I was like, okay, at this point it won't be that bad to just collect the rest of them. But I shop from bookshop.org and thrift books almost exclusively. So either used books or books that come from an independent bookstore. Because I buy so many books at this point, I feel guilty if I didn't. Except for, I will say, the new Kira Cass book, which I did pre-order on Amazon. But I try. And anyway, so I was looking at used books on Amazon. And so there was like a bunch of little bookshops that had like made like, they weren't through Amazon Prime. They had just like, put like the listings up of these used books. And one of them happened to be like $4, but it's like a collectible edition of the book.
Wow.
Very exciting. And it even came, I was like, yeah, we'll see whatever, it comes as, because I was like, I don't really know what that means. I don't collect books, but it came in this little plastic thingy.
Wow. Oh my
Oh.
I'll
goodness.
show you guys. It's pretty. It's just a pretty
It's
version.
so cute.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, it's
love
just a little paperback. It's not like it's anything super fancy, but I don't think that there's like a lot left maybe with this cover now. I'm not sure what makes it collectible.
I
I haven't seen that one.
cover.
Oh,
No.
me neither.
Yeah, I think this one was printed, I think in 1963.
Wow. Before she died, right?
Yeah, that was before
That's
she died.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and printed in Great Britain. So this one was also printed in.
She could have touched it.
She
Yeah,
could
she
have.
touched it. And some dummy dumb put like an X in pen on the H, which is probably why it was $4. But,
Unreal.
yeah, so I like weirdly
That's
have
weird.
this old book that was printed in England.
Oh, I
And,
love
it
having
was
nice.
$4.
books.
So you guys never
That's
know what you're
awesome.
gonna find from the little bookstores.
Good for
That's so
you,
cool.
Ash.
And it smells
Nice.
amazing. So it
Good
smells like an
find.
old mystery.
Mm.
Delicious.
Okay.
Are you guys
So-
mystery readers? Do you like reading mysteries
I
generally?
love mysteries. but
I
don't read
love
super
them.
often.
Yeah,
Me too.
same. Like every time I read one, I'm like, this is the best. And
Mhm.
lately, like this year, I've been more into it.
Yeah.
But like I kind of had forgotten, I guess, that I love reading them. So
I
but I
always
do love
forget
it.
until
They're
I
so
stumble
fun.
upon one. And then I'm like, wait, is this like the best genre that's ever existed?
Exactly.
Honestly, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And mystery movies are like
The
probably my like
best.
top 3 favorite types of movies ever.
I love
Me too.
whodunits.
Are
Yes.
you the type of people who decide like, okay, I'm gonna figure out who it is before the ending, or
I
do you
don't have
just
that
go
much
along with the ride?
confidence. I'm
Ye-
along for the ride. I know
Me
I'm
too.
not going to figure it out.
I usually give it my best shot, but
Yeah.
I kind of like it better when I don't figure it out.
Mhm.
Yeah, me too.
I
I think
really
Agatha
thought-
Christie. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I really thought I could beat Agatha Christie in
Mhm.
her game in this one. And I don't know why.
No.
I was like, of all the mystery writers. So like at first I was like, okay, it's gonna be this person. I was like, no, it's gonna be one of these 3 people. And then I was like, okay, none of them. It's like, okay, so it's gonna be like one of these, like it was like 3 or 4 people, which is still a lot of people. But I was like, going easy on myself. I was like, at least I know it'll
Narrow
be
it
one
down.
of these, I was still completely wrong and
Yep.
completely blindsided. And I was like, I give up forever, Agatha.
It's fun reading it because every time I thought, oh, that's the person, I was like,
Mhm.
no, it's not. Because if I think it's the person, then it's not them.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, well, maybe it's like on a test. So they're like, well, you like your first answer is the right answer. And then no,
Yeah.
it wasn't that either.
Nope.
I was like,
I
I
thought
was
that.
never right at any point in time while reading
That's really
this.
fun.
Oh, that's the best.
It's annoying too because I feel like it's not like stupid when she's like, oh, this is the person. And you're like, oh, that's stupid. It's like out of left field. It's like everything's there
Yeah.
for it to be that person.
That's
and
when
that's why
it's
it's annoying.
satisfying.
Yes.
Because it's like, it's so annoying whenever like there's not enough to where you could feasibly figure it
Right.
out,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not even fair. Like, but whenever it's like, oh, of course, that's
Yes.
the
Yeah.
best kind.
That's
That's
for
what
sure.
Mousetrap was like watching the
Mhm.
Mousetrap. I was very much like, oh my God, all along. And I was so shocked, and it is so shocking. Oh my God. It was amazing. Also,
So
shout out to
good.
the GCU cast of the Mousetrap from I don't know what year that was.
Was that our graduation?
2017?
Was that our senior night?
Probably.
Okay.
I think it was. It's probably 2017. So
Oh, that's
cast
cute.
of the Mousetrap at GCU 2017. You guys were
awesome.
amazing. Amazing.
Great job, you guys.
Yeah. It all like takes place at Christmas too. So it was like very like holiday wonderful. Yeah.
Lexi, do you read a lot of mysteries?
Yeah, I love a mystery. I love mystery and horror. And those are my main things.
Ugh.
Monster
The
stuff.
best.
Yes, I'm not a romance person and I want to be, but I'm not. It's not like I've never read a romance and didn't like it. I just don't gravitate.
It's not your
Gravitate towards
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Totally.
I'm not a monster or horror person. I'm a
No.
mystery person and a thriller person.
Thrillers
I like
are good.
action stuff.
Ash
not
is an
super
action
romance.
person.
I really
I don't
am an
like action.
person.
When I read action scenes in books, I gloss over it. It's really embarrassing.
It can depend on the book. Like
Depends
if,
on the author.
That's
if
true.
the author's good at it, yeah.
then it's like awesome. Sometimes authors, you're like, okay, you could have just said like
All
a fight
done.
happened and now it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Even better.
There was a fight. We get it.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Should we get into it? Okay.
Yes.
I just went ahead and said okay before you guys said anything.
No, I keep stalling because I'm like the plot is so intricate. I'm like intimidated, but luckily I
was
don't
even-
do it. So
Even as I was reading it, I was like, how are we going to talk
Yeah.
about this?
I think we don't have to say the whole thing. The reason why we normally go through the whole plot is just so that we're not doing that thing of like, oh, well, and also in this part, and then having to explain. So we could just kind of generally talk about the plot and then talk about things we liked or didn't like or whatever.
I
You
think
know,
that
it doesn't
works,
have to be every detail.
yeah, I agree.
Okay. So basically, this mystery revolves around the Lee family. Did this give anyone else Knives Out vibes? Or
Yes,
Yes.
the whole time.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, Ash,
it
you did say that. This
And I
is
love
so
that
Knives
movie.
Out. Yeah,
Well, I'm
love.
pretty sure that what didn't they say? Ryan Johnson, that's his name, right? He said
Yeah.
that it was based like an Agatha Christie sort of inspiration,
I mean,
right?
it makes
It
sense.
had
Totally.
to have been.
Yeah.
It had to have been.
And I love so much that like with the Knives Out series, we're getting like a new like
Yes.
detective guy. It's so fun to just have a detective guy to go
Isn't-
solve
he's-
Yes.
mysteries.
He's kind of like if like Hercule was not Belgian, but like kind of old money Georgia is kind of what it
Mhm.
felt like.
Yeah,
Is that what we
He
felt
is
like?
kind of
him?
the
Yes.
same. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like super nice, like just a cool guy. Like
Yeah.
he
Says
hangs
weird
out.
stuff.
Yeah, he does.
I went to see Glass Onion this weekend and I loved it.
Did you love it? Oh my gosh,
loved
that
it.
makes me so happy.
Is that the second one?
It's the
Yeah.
second one, yeah.
I haven't seen it. I didn't even know it was out. You guys, I am
Neither.
more detached.
It's
than I
really
thought I
dumb
was.
because they were only releasing it in theaters for a week. So it's going to be on
What?
Netflix at the end of the month.
Oh, thank
okay.
They
God.
might re-release it. So
Oh my
it'll be on Netflix at the end of
God.
the month.
I've
Everyone should
heard
watch
mixed
it.
reviews, so I'm really happy that you liked it.
I really liked it, but I mean, I think maybe I like the first one a little better just because it was like, the first
Yeah.
and like, but
Mhm.
I think such a worthy sequel, like so good.
Am I the
I
only
loved
one
it.
who feels like Chris Evans is not edgy enough to be a bad boy?
Yeah, no, the whole time I was like, I don't know.
I saw him on a magazine cover at the grocery store last week and it said sexiest man, voted like sexiest man alive or something. And it was Chris Evans, but they made him like look all rugged and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. Chris Evans' entire thing is that he's not ruggedly handsome.
Right.
He's extremely handsome in a very
Chris Evans
clean
is
cut
so
way.
cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cute.
so cute.
But you're getting that from just Captain America, like
no, I'm not, because he looked wrong with like he had like the stubble and I was like, no.
Have you seen Scott Pilgrim? Have you watched that?
yeah, have you?
Yes.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think he looks
'cause
good with stubble. But
I
He's
did
whatever.
very
not like
different
it then
in that
either.
movie.
I
That's
did
so
not
funny.
like it then either. I don't know what it is, and it's not a Captain America. It's something about Chris
You're not
Evans.
fooling anybody, Chris.
You're like,
Yeah.
no, Chris, I can see right through you.
I'm like, Chris, you're a nice guy. Just stop it. I mean, he was in Knives Out. He acted it perfectly. He's a
Yes.
great actor. He can act it just fine. His look is
Can't look
not
at him.
rugged.
He looks very good as a clean cut guy for sure.
Yes. That's why I was just shocked for a man's like
So funny.
sexiest man alive, like the picture that was like supposed to be him looking rugged. And I was like, no. Other men have that going for them. What Chris has going for him is that he's just as attractive as them, clean cut. And he's one of the few men that is.
Let him play to his strengths.
Yeah,
exactly.
I do feel like it is harder to pull off the clean cut look than the rugged look. Like rugged makes you look hot no matter what, almost. But
yes,
Chris has something special. You're right. I agree.
I know. This is exactly what I'm saying. I know I'm correct.
You're like, it's not
There's
even
no
a
dispute.
discussion. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I think Ana de Armas is like the most beautiful woman alive.
Me too.
Is she not? She's so
She is.
beautiful.
She's so pretty.
Okay.
I almost wanted to watch Blonde just because I was like, wow, she's so pretty. And I want to see her
yeah.
acting, but I also
yeah,
cannot watch any more of this film. I tried so hard to watch Blonde and I couldn't do it.
I didn't want I wasn't super into it.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Anyway.
Okay, so anyway, Knives Out, sort of similar. So the Lee family is this family in this book.
The most dysfunctional. They're so dysfunctional.
They're really dysfunctional. So what we have is Simeon Lee, which is a weird ass name. He's like the old guy. He's the dad, the patriarch of the family. And so he invites everyone home for Christmas this year. And that includes, how many sons does he have? 4? 3? He has Harry, who is like the
estranged.
He's the estranged son, yes. Alfred, who is like the good
sweet,
old boy, like doting
the oldest,
son. Yeah. And then
George,
who
he works in Parliament.
Yes.
George sucks. Like I don't like George.
He does suck.
So garbage, yeah.
And then David, who's like the sweet one.
So sweet.
He's so sensitive.
The mama's boy. He's sensitive. And then their wives, except for Harry. And then also he invites his granddaughter, because he also has a daughter, Jennifer, who died recently, but her daughter grew up in Spain, and so he invites her, and her name is Pilar.
Pilar.
I don't know how to say it.
I don't know if it's
Pilar
or Pilar.
I met a girl one time who's named Pilar, so I think
probably Pilar.
That's perfect.
We'll just say
glad you know.
Estravados.
Estravados.
Estravados. Beautiful last name.
It's beautiful.
It's a nice name, yeah. So
her father was Spanish.
Yes. So she grew up in Spain, but she's coming over for Christmas. And so on the train to the house, she meets this guy who ends up also coming over to the house for Christmas, and his name is Stephen, and he is Simeon's old business partner's son. So he is just like in England, and he's from South Africa because they used to be in like the diamond business. And so he's in England, and he's like, hello, I'm here. And they're like, oh, come on in. So now this is the whole group. And then there's like some servants and everybody. Yeah. And so everyone's kind of together, but there's some tension. And then Simeon gets like all mad, and he's like, you're all terrible sons. And they're like, great, thanks for inviting us over, great party. And Harry was invited to like stay there forever, and so that's some other tension. And then George is getting cut off. There's like all this stuff. And so then we find out that Simeon has been murdered. So everyone hears the scream, and there's a kerfuffle, and everyone goes upstairs, and he's lying in a pool of blood in his room, and everyone's
they have to knock down the door because the door was locked.
That's right,
inside,
locked from the inside. Yes, that's good to note. So they finally knock it down, and he's lying in a pool of blood, and there's a lot of blood. So his throat was slashed, and everyone is like, okay, so something not that chill happened tonight. And so they're trying to figure out who did it, of course. But Simeon had contacted the police guy. What do they call him?
Inspector something? Chief inspector?
Superintendent?
No.
Superintendent. That's what they call him. I don't know why they call him that. But anyway, so we'll just call him police guy. So police guy, Simeon was talking to him the night before, or that night, because he had noticed that his diamonds were missing. He had a collection of uncut diamonds. Yeah. That he'd only shown to Pilar.
Just to like play with in his hands, like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah. Did you guys notice that his business partner's name is Ebenezer?
Yes. I love that.
That's funny.
It was good. It's a callback to our last Christmas episode.
Wow.
So the diamonds are missing, and Simeon is dead. So who's on the case now? Hercule Poirot.
Hercule
Poirot.
Poirot.
And so he shows up and he is working with the superintendent to try and figure out what happened. And so they do interviews of everybody. And it seems there's a lot of reasons why somebody in the family would have wanted to kill him. As we mentioned,
he was
he was a dick.
Also.
Yeah,
Maybe
bad guy.
Yeah. David was convinced that he had killed their mom. Lots of stuff going on. Lydia, who is Alfred's wife, hated him.
Yeah.
Lots of people didn't like him.
It was like, who wouldn't have wanted to kill him? Was really the question.
And so at this point, you're kind of like, okay, well, I don't know, maybe not for y'all, but for me, I was like, I need some more information before I can make a.
Yeah, I was
Anybody
like,
could have done this.
Yeah.
It feels like almost all of them have motive.
Well, and two people said super creepy stuff when they saw him, so that was weird.
Yes, good point. Who was that? It was Lydia.
Lydia
and
said something about
Lydia said, "Who would have known there'd be so much blood in him or something?" Which is from
Lady Macbeth reference. Yes.
Yes,
I
love.
David said
Lady
something
Macbeth.
about like the grist mills of heaven or slow to
Yes.
grind or something, which is basically just means like your comeuppance will show up eventually. Just takes.
It just
a while.
might take a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Laura, I just
Very
picked
good
the
to
supreme
note.
leader. I didn't know she was on the desk. I'm
Oh
sorry,
no.
Laura. I would like to publicly apologize to our supreme leader.
Sorry, supreme leader.
She's like,
So
Auntie Spoons would never do this.
So yes, so there's reason to suspect almost everybody. And Hercule, his whole thing, he kind of never really says much at the beginning, I feel. Just based off me watching Murder on the Orient Express, what's the one? Death on the Nile, and then also reading this.
Well, I love when he's like, listen, if you don't talk, people will still talk to you. And the more they talk to you, the more they'll give away.
Yeah, my therapist uses that with me all the time.
She just sort of stares at you.
She does. I think she's like, how do you feel? And I'm like, fine. And then she'll just like sit there in silence. And I'm like, okay, not so good. And then she'll just sit there quietly. And I'm like, okay, I guess. And then I'm like, I gotta figure out what to say. She's clearly expecting something.
Oh man, oldest trick in the book.
It is. And I fall for it.
So yeah, so everyone's kind of getting interviewed, and then people are saying their alibis, like, oh, I was in the drawing room, oh, I was playing the piano. And so everyone kind of has something to say, but then I'm not going to remember everybody's story, sorry guys, but
fine.
So
it's a lot.
Yeah, so then what happened? Oh, I forgot, when everyone showed up at the scene of the crime, Pilar picked up some stuff from the ground.
Yeah.
And the superintendent was like, oh, give me that. That's evidence. And she was like, oh, sorry. And it was like a piece of rubber, which is weird. Like
wooden peg.
Yeah. Yes. And so we don't really know what that means, but the superintendent like kind of shares that with Poirot. And Poirot is kind of like, interesting. And he's like, okay, now I want to go have conversations with everybody. And they're like, another round of interviews. And he's like, no, I just want to hang out.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. So he's like kind of chilling, like hanging out with everybody. And so everyone, you know, has their own thing that they've got going on and some of their own suspicions. We find out that, who was it? George's wife is cheating on him, like all this stuff. And there's lots, you know, that kind of
George
thing.
And his
going
wife
on.
are both a piece of work, and their alibis conflicted with each other.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
So that's why she was like, okay, I have to set the record straight.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stephen and Pilar kind of really hitting it off. They keep hanging out, and they're like, hey, we're the fun, cool ones.
They are. They're like, you know, a little death. We can't let a little death ruin Christmas for everyone. Let's go dance to the gramophone.
Yeah, exactly.
Her attitude the whole time, I was like, do I respect you or do I like never want to meet you? I don't know.
Exactly, like
in the middle.
Am I terrified of you or do I love you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, death comes for everyone eventually. I'm not going to let it ruin my day.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she like at the very beginning, she like just came from Spain, and I guess they're having their civil war at that time. And she's like, yeah, the driver totally died on my way here. And Stephen was like, is that not terrifying to you? And she's like, I mean, everyone dies. So
Yeah, she like goes into like gruesome detail. She's like, yeah, his head exploded or something, and it was
and she's
there's
like, I
Supreme
would.
Leader.
Oh, hello, Supreme Leader. You look terrifying. She said something about like, oh, I'd slit anyone's throat who was my enemy. Which
Like
is
this.
like,
And I like how she does the same little motion. So funny.
Yeah,
yeah, she's a character, that's for sure.
she is. Yeah.
So everyone's, whatever. Then they find the diamonds in the garden, and they're
In
kind of look
Lydia's
like
garden.
pebbles because they're so they're in Lydia's garden. So they're like, interesting. And
Is it Lydia? What is her name?
Isn't that her
It's
name?
Lydia. It's Alfred's wife, right?
What is the other's wife's name?
There's Hilda
Magdalene
and
Oh, Hilda.
Magdalene.
I always mix up Hilda and Lydia, I think.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
So Hilda is David's wife.
All the names mix
right?
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Hilda said something very dramatic to Simeon right after he got mad at everyone. So that was a little suspicious. There's lots going on.
Yeah.
So we have all of these pieces, and then Pilar is being weird about her passport. She like drops
Throws
it out the window. Yeah. And so you're like, okay, what's going on?
I love Poirot because he's like, huh, that's weird. She's just hanging out by the window. Interesting.
He was like, oh, these Brits and their fresh air. He's like, she must have enough British in her to feel that way.
That's hysterical.
And so then also we get I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Go
There's
for
this
it.
stuff.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Skipping ahead. Also I should mention, I guess, that Simeon was kind of as we mentioned, kind of a douche, and he clearly slipped around a lot. He made a comment like, I probably have a bunch of illegitimate children that I don't know, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Cheated and
What a
like
thing to be proud
lied and all of that.
Yeah.
And so that's just good to know for later. But so Stephen, they get a letter from this guy in South Africa, and they find out Stephen has actually been dead for 2 years. So this guy who is pretending to be Stephen is not the real son of Simeon's old business partner. And so they're like, fascinating. And then people are like, oh, I saw so-and-so, and all of that. And so basically when we get everything together and everyone comes together and is like, well, what's the big idea? Hercule tells everyone, basically, there's a reason for all of you guys to be the murderer, and here's how you all would have done it, which is very Clue. And he's like, you would have done it like this, you would have done it like this, and everyone's like, oh, that's ridiculous, I never did it. And this whole time, by the way, George, the worst guy in the book, has been like, there's no way somebody from the family could have done this, it must have been somebody else. And turns out he's right, because the real murderer is the superintendent, the police guy, which I did not see coming at all.
Either. One of the bastard sons of Simeon Lee.
He is, he's one of the illegitimate children.
Well,
and so is Stephen. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with Stephen, is that I called that one, and I think she wanted you to, like, I think she wanted you to figure that one out. I predicted
that one too.
Because when he looked so similar to everybody else, and when the guy, the servant guy, answered the door, he was like, I feel like I'm doing this over and over again today. I was like, okay, so that's one of his kids. He was in South Africa. He was a bad guy, sleeping around. And so then I was like, couldn't be another person, another illegitimate child. Oh yes,
I know. I didn't think either. Oh my god,
I think it was on purpose. She's so smart.
She really like took us for a loop there. It was
really did,
it was shocking. And
yes, it was. And Pilar is not actually Pilar. Which was crazy.
She's just a random person.
Both she and Stephen lied about who they were, and were like, it was crazy.
And then they're like, let's go get married.
They did.
Honestly,
they were like,
match
let's
made
go
in
back
heaven.
to South Africa. It's true. They truly were,
He's just like, because it was true that she did see a lot of death when she got there, because the real granddaughter was on her way and she got killed, and so she kind of knew a little bit about her and was like, I can get rich off of this. Crazy.
She just took her passport, and that's why she dropped it out the window. It was like she was gonna like rough up the page or something to make it like maybe look more like her.
So opportunistic.
Wild.
Because you have to be when you're in a warring country.
Yeah.
I guess so. She was like, this is an
I mean,
opportunity.
it worked out for her. Steven was like, that's hot. So
Steven was like, real recognizes real. I mean,
Yeah.
let's do this, babe.
He's like, so we're getting married or what? And she's like,
Mhm.
hell yeah, babe.
So cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping that the Lee family kind of gets it together after this.
It
Maybe
seems like it.
I think they're gonna be okay. Yeah.
They
But
aired out a lot of stuff.
they really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then that's basically it.
Yeah,
I know.
that's it.
This is a hard one to
Crazy.
talk about, but I
Yeah.
loved it. It was so fun. I recommend it's really easy to read
It is
quickly.
easy to read. Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's a lot of likable characters. There's a lot of unlikable characters,
Yes.
but they're real. I
is.
feel like with Pilar, it's like I kind of like her, but do I? It's
Like
kind
a
of like
real
that with a lot of
person.
people.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like her as a book character. I don't
Yes.
think I'd like her as a friend.
No.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you'd always be a little on edge around her as a
Yes.
friend. You'd be like, oh
Yeah.
my God, Pilar's so funny. She might kill all of us one day, but she's so fun. Like life of the party.
Exactly.
I might die.
Yeah, that's so funny. What were our first impressions of this book before reading it?
Before reading it.
Yeah.
I guess I thought it would be more Christmassy, but I
That's
don't know
exactly what
how.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Really?
say. Yeah.
That's so funny. I don't know how. I don't know how it
It's
would
called
be more
well
Christmassy.
because the title is Hercule Poirot's Christmas. It
And
says
I guess-
Christmas.
I
and
guess
there's
the
like
thought
holly
is-
on the front of my book.
Yes. I guess the thought of it is his Christmas, even though he wanted to just chill, is solving a mystery.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
can't
yes,
chill
so.
for a day.
He can't because
Yeah.
he's the world's greatest detective.
That's right.
Yeah, they need him.
Crime
Yeah.
never rests.
Yeah, I think I had the exact same impression. I thought it was going to be more Christmas than it was.
Mhm.
I don't know how-
That's really all.
I honestly don't know how you could do that though. I guess the Christmassy parts were not very Christmassy to us because we're not from England.
Yeah.
So the whole
and
thing with
also
the
it,
balloons and stuff wasn't very
yeah.
American Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
No, it wasn't.
But it was interesting to see how different Christmas is in England. It was very cute.
Yeah.
That part
And
was
also,
cute.
I mean, I think like their Christmas day, because this was set over like 4 days or something, like just before and after Christmas. So like the murder and stuff was happening. So like they didn't really celebrate like a normal Christmas because of the murder.
Yeah, like they
So-
normally would have had all their figgy pudding, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Instead, they were like,
I
"My
guess
dad
I
is dead."
expected
Yes.
to get to see some of the Christmas stuff before the murder happened, and I was
Yeah.
like, no.
No,
Like,
no.
couldn't he have died like after Christmas Eve, like
Yeah.
dinner and maybe some presents, like that kind of
Mhm.
thing, you know?
Yeah, but no.
But no.
No.
Agatha's like, absolutely not.
Agatha's like, I know y'all are here for the mystery, so let's just get into it.
Well, what was
Exactly.
y'all's favorite and least favorite parts?
That's hard.
I think okay, I'm probably just dumb.
No.
But also I don't know. I was listening to it, so I might not have caught everything exactly, I guess,
I
but
know,
I
same.
didn't quite catch Stephen being the son. So when that was revealed,
okay.
I was like, oh shit, like it's getting real. And I like gasped out loud. I was like,
That's awesome.
oh my God. So that was very exciting for me as one
I
of my
love that.
favorite parts.
That's fun.
I liked the part where I thought that Perot was just jealous of. Did you hear that? That was my dog.
Hi, Fable.
Hello, baby.
It's very talkative. He I can't focus. Perot was like jealous of the superintendent's mustache. Obviously, that's not what it actually was, but I thought
But
he
it seemed
was.
like it, yeah, because he kept
He was-
bringing it up.
He was like, "Do you use pomade?" And he's like, "No,
Yeah.
what? Me? Never. No, it just grows." He's like, and then
Like what a
and then
fine
later
mustache.
and then one of the women was like, "Oh, I have to look at this package. Why is it a mustache? Perot already has a mustache."
That was
And
so
out of
funny.
context, it's so funny. So
Mustache thing was very, very
Yeah, that
funny.
was great.
Yeah.
anytime anyone looked at Perot and they were like, "What's wrong with you?" That was my favorite part.
I know.
Oh, it's so funny.
I love that.
I liked it too.
Least favorite part, I guess, was whenever Albert or George were talking. I don't know. I don't like them, so
Oh
I
yeah.
kind of I don't
Least
know.
favorite brothers, Alfred and George.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. Well,
Harry
yeah,
was at least
George.
fun, you know,
Yeah.
like
George, without a doubt, least favorite brother.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so pompous and just completely insufferable.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Part of me, did anybody suspect David at any time? I did a little bit. I was like,
No.
wouldn't it be kind of a twist if he's
I
like,
thought maybe, but I was
didn't
like, I don't know if
think
he
he
has
would.
the temperament
it
to do
wasn't
it.
like a long thing for me, but like for
Mhm.
like maybe a chapter, I was
After he
kind
said, now that he's dead, I realized that I don't have any like bad feelings about it anymore. I was like,
Yeah.
interesting.
yeah.
I felt like Agatha wanted me to suspect Hilda a little bit, but I really couldn't get
Yeah.
behind it.
I
She's
did
just smart. I love
Yeah.
Hilda.
I was
Yeah.
thinking like, okay, if it's anybody, it's probably gonna be one of the wives.
Yeah.
But I was wrong. But
know.
I did think that.
Exactly. Let's see. So my favorite part, I think, was all of Hercule's interviews with people. I just like the way he posed questions, and
Yes.
sometimes it would like the mustache thing. You'd be like, "What are you on about? Like that's so
Mhm.
random," and then later be like, "Oh my god, everything makes sense now."
Yeah.
So that's probably my favorite part. Least favorite part, I don't know. Like I just want to say like characters, but that's probably not fair. I guess maybe least favorite part was when Simeon's horrible to his children.
That's
The
true.
rest of the story was really interesting. So it's hard to like have like a least favorite part. It was all
Mhm.
pretty interesting and pretty to the point. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't really have a least favorite because like
Yeah.
I liked all of it. It was just
Yeah.
fun. Like
That's the thing. And like least favorite is just like, wow, I just like with Simeon being mean to his kids, I'm like, you're really
Yeah.
sealing your fate right now.
right.
Or at least that's how it felt. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like a least favorite for writing style, and also
No.
it was
right.
super
No, yeah,
necessary,
totally.
like
All of it was really
completely
good.
necessary.
Mhm.
What about favorite and least favorite characters?
Hmm.
I know right off the bat, my favorite is Lydia. My least favorite is George.
Favorite's
Ooh.
Lydia. I feel like I combined Lydia and Hilda a little bit in my head.
They're
So I don't
both
know.
very
liked them both.
capable, So.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
them both. Yeah.
My favorite. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm just trying to think of just one least favorite character. But go ahead. I can't think
Oh.
of just one.
I was gonna say favorite Hercule,
Yes.
Hercule, and least favorite George.
Oh, you mean Hercules?
Hercules.
Favorite
Poirot.
Hercules.
Yeah, I guess George is my least favorite. He's the worst.
He's the worst.
He was just
He's-
like, "What are you adding? Like, you're so annoying for me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know.
Oh, no,
I was like,
no, he's
he's
so annoying.
he felt like worse than his father. Also,
Yeah.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
he
At
felt
least,
like he had all of Simeon's bad parts with absolutely none of the semi like
Mhm.
interesting
yeah.
stuff.
Simeon was at least kind of funny. I
Yeah.
guess he was
was,
kind
like,
of
kinda
fun.
funny.
He was
like,
fun,
kind of
yeah.
the life of the party, and he was
Yeah.
very generous.
Yeah.
Apparently, everyone said he was very
Mhm.
generous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, George isn't. George is all of the worst parts of his father and nothing else.
Oh, yes. And at one point he is like, "Don't you know who I am?" And I hate that.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah.
I hated that attitude also.
Mhm.
Also, he was the only one who was like, "No, Pilar doesn't get any money."
Yeah.
Everyone
He
was,
was
like,
so yeah.
gonna come
he's so
together to help her
tight-fisted.
out. Yeah, that was
Also, he works for the government. I mean, gross. I'm just-
Disgusting. Why would anyone ever do
that's
that?
specifically a you problem, but
no, I'm kidding. Regardless of what your profession is, though, like when you completely identify as your profession and
Mhm.
feel that people in your everyday life should have to respect you because of your
yeah, it's like,
profession.
shut up, dude.
Yeah, it's the do you know who I am? It's
I
that
hate
air
that.
about it exactly that makes you go,
Mhm.
I know that you're awful. So, I know
Now.
that you don't have any friends.
Dang, I know your wife's cheating on you.
Ayo.
Damn. God. Did everybody do favorite, least favorite characters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good.
What else?
I love
do we
this
do?
book.
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned. What do we learn from this book? Don't be a dick to your kids.
Good.
Any
Good
of
one.
them,
Good
illegitimate
one.
or otherwise.
So true. Hmm.
I guess the little like more, I can't say this succinctly. Say less, basically. If you want to get information out of someone, say less.
Just
Yeah.
be really ask
Let
one
them
question
talk.
that doesn't make
Mhm.
sense and then just don't respond.
Let awkward silences stay. Like don't
true.
worry. I hate silence.
Yeah.
So I learned to be quiet a little more from this book.
That's smart.
So true.
Yeah, I
Don't want to
guess if you're,
accidentally incriminate yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Whether
and,
you're
and
a-
just maybe someone will tell me something juicy if I'm
Oh,
quiet.
I
long
see.
enough.
Yes,
True.
yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh yeah, I flipped it. I knew what you were talking about originally, and then I was like, also this.
Yeah,
For some
I shouldn't
reason.
incriminate myself either. I don't know what I did, but
What
So
did you
whether
do,
you're
Lexi?
I don't want
Yeah.
people to know.
Yeah. Whether you're a private detective, a therapist, or you're like, I kind of just want to know the hot goss.
Yeah.
Being quiet is not. Yeah, that'll get you what you want, probably.
I think here's one. Go big or go home. Both Stephen and Pilar were like, nah, I'm gonna do it. And you know what? It worked out.
It
So
did.
might as well.
It did. If you find if you meet someone who did the same kind of outrageous like tomfoolery as they did, that you marry that person. You
guess so.
marry that person.
Get on that. I
and
did
move to
like that
South
part
Africa.
where they were like playing with the balloons. I thought it was really cute.
It was really
super,
cute.
super cute. Yeah,
That was really good.
adorable. Yeah.
You can really tell how so many crime TV shows, like procedurals, came
Mhm.
from this sort of writing.
Yeah.
Because even just that scene, I was like, wow, I've seen that in so many shows.
Yes, exactly. Like the whole like breakdown of the crime.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like
it's so
them
interesting.
doing that like gave Poirot like his last piece of the puzzle,
Yes.
that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, here's one.
That's when
Don't
Sean
trust
Spencer-
the police, you guys.
That's
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's when Sean has
Yeah.
his like
Yeah,
yes,
his little
I've got
epiphany.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Super, super.
Don't
great.
trust the police. Ruh-roh.
Yeah. Just kidding, or am I? I don't know.
Dun, dun. We'll never know.
Oh, Sean Spencer
Yeah.
is so good.
Oh my god, I love Sean Spencer.
If you
the
think
best.
that you know what Agatha's doing, you don't.
No,
You
no one
just
ever
don't.
has.
Yeah,
No one
lesson
ever has
learned.
to.
Agatha's a master of her craft.
She's
Can you
amazing.
imagine knowing
Yeah.
her? She would have been always like 2 steps, 5
Yeah.
steps ahead of whatever you were
Oh,
doing.
and I
Yeah.
forgot to say, on one of her vacations, she set the record for being the first British woman to surf standing up.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Isn't that
amazing.
wild? Yeah.
What the heck?
I know.
That's so cool.
Wow.
I know.
A random
Like, what the
record.
hell? I know.
She just did whatever she wanted.
Pretty cool. What about favorite quotes? We have favorite quotes from this book.
Oh, I totally forgot about favorite quote.
Same. Listen, when I put effort into the bio, I can't put effort into the favorite quotes.
It's one or the other.
Might have to cut some of this.
Everyone Googling. Fox, you're the only
No,
one
Lexi was
I'm looking.
prepared.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
I mean,
was
I
like,
have something
oh, no.
highlighted, but I think it was just silly. I don't think it was like, wow, my favorite thing.
Okay, I've got one.
Amazing.
Oh, good. Go for it, Spoons.
Okay, here is mine. Hercule Poirot stared hard at Superintendent Sugden's mustache. Its luxuriance seemed to fascinate him.
That's
Exactly.
a good one.
Incredible.
So this is a Christmas quote, so that's good.
Oh, that's good.
Um,
I like it.
There is at Christmas time a great deal of hypocrisy, honorable hypocrisy undertaken pour le bon motif, c'est entendu, but nevertheless hypocrisy. So I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what the
But it's
first
about-
is, but the
it's
rest
It's about
of it's good.
Christmas.
I like it.
I love the festivity.
Yeah, that's really good.
Not my favorite, but I liked that it was about Christmas.
Oh, here's one that I actually remember that I didn't just look up because I'm ill prepared. But I listened to it and I was like, oh, so true. This is Lydia talking to this is Hilda talking to David at the beginning. She says, I believe the present matters, not the past. The past must go. If we seek to keep the past alive, we end, I think, by distorting it. We see it in exaggerated terms, a false perspective. That's kind
That's
of
really good.
true.
I like that
Sometimes
one.
that happens.
Yeah. Here's
It might be
here's
my
one
favorite.
that likewise I also remembered. It doesn't super have to do with the theme of the book or anything. I just thought, wow, that is really true. The quote is, marriage is an extraordinary thing, and I doubt if any outsider, even a child of the marriage, has the right to judge. I just thought of it because, sometimes like you hear stories about, because I think they're talking about how Simeon mistreated his wife.
Mhm.
And you always hear stories about like well, why didn't she just leave him and all that stuff? And there's usually so much more going on behind the scenes. Like if it was that simple and there were like no repercussions to consider, then yeah, they would. So I just thought that was interesting to read. I was like, wow, this concept has been around for a while. It's just it's so easy to forget to be empathetic and to think that, wow, these women aren't just, they're not like dolls just sitting there like, why is this happening to me? Like there's a lot of logic and stuff going on behind the scenes that even the kids are not going to see. So anyways, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
That's true.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Not like super happy.
No, it's true. I like it.
But it's true.
There's a lot of true lines in this book. Brings out a lot of truth about humanity.
Well, I really like that. I mean, obviously, I just think it's so great that one of like the best mystery writers of all time is a woman.
I know.
Like it was so fun to read it too, because I feel like she gave like the wives in this book, they had like, they're not in the immediate family, I guess, but they had like just as much going on. Like they talked to each other about things. It was like very much like, even though her main character is a man, I felt like, I don't know, there was lots of good character work with the women characters too, and I loved that.
And I loved all the women even Magdalene, who was like obnoxious, was so interesting and felt so real. Like all the characters just felt very real.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like she had like compromised the authenticity of one for the other, which is sometimes feels like when men write women, especially in like a mystery book, it often feels like they don't focus as much, or maybe the women aren't as authentic as the men, and vice versa. I think even the way that I write, because I'm a chick, I think even the way that I write dude characters doesn't hit quite as authentic, or maybe I don't focus on it as much as I do developing my chick characters. But not Agatha. Agatha was an amazing queen of writing.
She gets
Agatha. She gets it.
Aggie, I love Aggie.
Our sweet Aggie.
Yes.
Well, this was really fun. I really enjoyed this one.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on again,
Up.
Lexi. Oh yeah,
Pinkies up. Sorry. It's out of 5, right?
Yes.
5.
1 out of 5 pinkies up. You know, because we all have 5 pinkies on our hand.
Lexi gives it 5.
Yes.
5 pinkies up.
I'm gonna give it 4.5.
I'm gonna give it 4.75.
Oh,
nice. Okay.
Excellent.
I went for it,
all
but
in the
that's fine.
ballpark.
This
no,
is
that was good. You should.
This is very good ratings.
It
This
is
is
really good.
really good.
Yeah, it's a damn good book. I don't know if anything Agatha Christie wrote could get less than a 4. It feels like that would be out of character for her.
I just want to keep reading all of her books.
I know. I was like,
it feels like
a bunch of them now.
To read or to write that many murder mysteries, there has to be so many, like, such differences between each one for them to still be compelling. And she's still selling, so it's like,
I really want to watch Murder on the Orient Express again, because it's so like wintry. It also feels like, a Christmassy thing to watch, even though it's not really about that. But I do want to watch it again.
It is cozy because it's on like a train,
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't really like leave.
And I do want to watch Death on the Nile because I haven't seen it, but I
started Death on the Nile, and the beginning has a really weird dance scene, and I just couldn't keep watching it. And I was like,
I like Death on the Nile. I think I liked it better than Murder on the Nile.
Really? I'll have to just skip that part.
I want to see it, but
it was very sexy at the beginning.
Why are you guys having sex on the dance floor in the
It was really wild.
30s, 40s? I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
Lesson all ages, you guys. There always been
it's true.
Good for them. But but the twist in that one was crazy. There was lots of twists.
I'll probably watch it in the new year. I'm trying to just get in all of my cozy stuff now. So, because I know I'm not gonna crave the cozy stuff as much as soon as we hit like January, February. So I'm like holding off on the stuff I know I'll want then.
True.
Smart.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that's all we've got to say about this book.
Yeah. I thank you for having me and taking my suggestion. It was really fun.
Of course. Thank you for
coming back
joining us
continuously.
Yes,
it's a treat.
Anytime.
Yeah. We'll have to see what the next holiday episode we have coming up is. So
I think we should do a weird holiday, like a random stupid.
We could do President's Day.
I might have written one of those down. I have to look because I do. I'm very season focused, so I've started like writing down like the closest holiday to the release date for in our like reading list.
Yeah.
Some of them have like weird holidays on there.
So exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm so happy.
Yay. Let me see. So if you guys enjoyed the pod, you guys can follow us on social media. You guys can help us stay above the 1,000 because it always, dips up, comes back down. But because you guys are so wonderful and thank you for following us on Instagram, we are going to be hosting a giveaway soon. I'm thinking we'll probably make it a New Year's giveaway. And then we're going to try and give you guys plenty of time to enter. I think we just did a week last time. I'm thinking maybe we'll do like a 2-week entry period. So y'all have plenty of time to all get your entry seed or whatever it is in. I suddenly forgot the plural of entrances. Entrance?
Good.
Entrances doesn't feel correct.
English doesn't matter.
Entries.
If you say the wrong thing enough,
Masters.
We'll get it. Yeah, we
Yeah,
understand
it's
what
fine.
you mean.
Exactly. You guys will have plenty of time to get your entries in, and it's going to be a really cool giveaway. Yes, Kira Cass's signed book is going to be in it, but there will be also lots of other cool goodies from bookish artists and independent, little independent businesses and stuff because we like to do that.
Yeah, we
but it's
get
going to be
good
the cool stuff
giveaways,
you want.
you guys.
Our giveaways are awesome, and listen, we're not rich enough to get the stuff for ourselves, so we're giving you guys the stuff that we would wanted to buy for ourselves if we ship it off and just watch it go and we're like, man, I want that giveaway.
Wish I had that.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys earned it. Thank you so much for following us. You guys can also follow us on Facebook and TikTok. We're That Pretentious Book Club. I'm going to try and start posting audio clips more now that we are only releasing an episode every other week. So you guys don't have to go a whole week without our voices because I know that, we're just delightful. It's like liquid gold in your ears. We just get you through the day.
Oh, God.
I'm sure you miss us.
They're just crying whenever there's not a new episode. They're
I
like,
know.
oh my
They're like,
God,
what's the point of even living this week? Don't worry. We're always going to be back the week after that. And sometimes Lexi will be there with us.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys for being the wonderful people you are. Happy Christmas or whatever holiday you are celebrating. And if you guys like the pod, leave a review below. If you want bonus content, videos, exclusive merch, you guys can go to patreon.com/storysirenstudio.com. That's our production company. And you can go buy some holiday bookish merch on storysirenstudio.com or thatpretentiousbookclub.com. Same thing. It'll take you to the same place. But we do have our holiday bookish merch. So if you too are always fa la line for the villain, go check it out because we have some cool merch there. Both of these girls are like, no, that's not me at all.
Not me, but you know.
But there's other bookish merch there that you guys would like.
I like a stoic hero, so that's almost a villain.
Always follow along for the stoic hero.
That's so good. Anyways, this has been a fantastic episode. Happy Christmas. And until next week after next, keep your teacups full.
Your pinkies high.
And your book club.
Pretentious. Is that too much of it?
No, you're great.
One of these days.
I'll get it one day.
It was